Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another segment of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD podcast. We're going to be right back with this week's Tech Tuesday guest, but as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, you've heard me say many times, these are all great companies. I used them as an AD. I want you to use them too. So take 3 minutes, listen to our shout outs, then listen to our Tech Tuesday segment, and then go and visit these sponsors. You're going to be very glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Huddle for their support. You've heard me say before, as a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an athletic director, I made sure that we were a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the tools. The kids loved the videos, and our parents loved the streaming, but there is so much more. Go to huddle.com, join the 8 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and you can schedule a live web demo to see their score tables and their scoreboards in action. That's sidelineinteractive.com. We want to thank our good friends at Home Campus. Home Campus is a platform that you're going to use every single day for things like scheduling, rosters, communication. Their athletic eligibility and clearance platform alone is worth the price. Go to homecampus.com to get started. That's it, homecampus.com. We'd like to say thanks to our friends at Gipper. You know, your students are on social media, and if they're not seeing content that celebrates their accomplishments and promotes your program, you're missing out on a great opportunity. Go to Gipper.com. Their team will have you creating world-class content in seconds, and it's so easy, even I can do it. It's Gipper.com. Make sure you mention the podcast, Gipper.com. We want to thank Ohio University and their online master's in athletic administration. Now, I didn't get my master's from Ohio University, but my assistant athletic director did, and it was a great experience. It's very affordable, just 20 months, totally online. And while you're completing your master's degree, you're also earning 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. That's ohio.edu/info/MAA. Mention the podcast, Ohio University. We want to thank Hometown Ticketing. Hometown's the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. I don't think I need to say anything more. Go to hometownticketing.com. It's digital ticketing that offers more. We want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards for all the teams, for all the events, or show off your school's Hall of Fame, go to Vital Signs Wall of Fame and take a look at their interactive touchscreen video consoles. It's also a great way to share your school's unique history and brag a little bit about your proudest moments. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. You know, athletic directors already get feedback, but a lot of times it's from a very small group that only wants to complain. Athletic Surveys will connect you to that group, but they're also going to connect you to the 98% that supports your program. And having that data in your hands is extremely valuable, especially when you're talking to a frustrated parent, or maybe your principal, or even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. It's athleticsurveys.com. And we want to say thanks to our good friends at Snap Raise. Have you ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and then been disappointed in the return on investment? Well, those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com. It's hands down the best online fundraiser out there. We used it at our school with great success. Our coaches loved it. Our parents loved it because it works. Go to snapraise.com. You can check out their other great platforms. But if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it. Go to snapraise.com. Welcome back, everybody, to another segment of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD podcast. We're going to be visiting today with one of our great sponsors and to talk about the product and talk about herself a little bit. We're very happy to welcome Caitlyn Germain to the podcast. Caitlyn's a certified athletic administrator. She is a longtime teacher, coach, and athletic director. She knows the business, and we're excited to have her here today. Caitlyn, welcome to Tech Tuesday.
Hi, Jake. Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, you and I connected a while back, and again, very glad that you could spend some time with our listeners. We always like to let our listeners have a chance to get to know our guests. So, give us that quick bio, where you were born, where you grew up. Basically, give us your life story in 2 minutes. But what's the Caitlyn Germain origin story?
Yeah. Oh, it's exciting stuff, Jake. So yeah, no, I'm in Worcester, Mass, where born and raised. Like most of your guests on the podcast, athletics had probably something to do with their upbringing. For me, it was soccer. So I played soccer down at the University of Delaware for my college ball, and then I moved back here in Massachusetts, where I got into teaching and coaching. And so for 12 years, I had taught in 6 different school districts, coached across 3 seasons, ultimately made the decision that I really wanted to be in administration. And so I was an athletic director at a private Catholic school in Worcester, Massachusetts, just down the road from my house, and really enjoyed my time working with student athletes, coaches, really growing the programs across all 3 seasons. And that lent itself to a new transition where I am working now with Snap Mobile. And so I'd like to say my experiences teaching and coaching and being an athlete really have primed me to have success in this new role with Snap Mobile.
I think we're gonna have to get you back on for a full interview and really let you dive into your journey. I'm gonna go and ask this question. You were an AD, you were a coach or a teacher, many years, and now you're working with Snap. Can you think back to a moment for you? Maybe it was in high school, maybe it was in college, but can you think back to a moment where you knew that you wanted to be a coach, to be an AD, to stay involved, to like I did? I was a kid for, those 41 years. I was an AD and coach. Was there a one moment for you that really sticks out?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I think when I played soccer, I played for so many different coaches at all different levels. I truly feel like that team competitive experience helps prepare students for success, to be successful in high school, be successful in terms of handling conflict, managing their time. So I think I would have to say I can't really pinpoint one specific experience, but taking a holistic view, just recognizing that, hey, being an athlete, being part of a team is a really critical transformative experience. And I want to make sure that people that were in my shoes have that same opportunity to be able to grow and to be successful. So I'd like to say, like, I really valued all of my coaches, my teachers, and my experiences growing and developing. And so there's that idea of giving back. And also, again, with the perspective being in different school settings, being able to kind of share that.
Oh wow, what a great answer. Yeah. And again, I think many of our listeners had a similar experience. You just had all those great coaches growing up and on into high school and into college. And, wow, this would be great to give back and share with others.
Absolutely.
Let's go and jump into Snap. Now, again, regular listeners to the podcast, they know that we've got a lot of great sponsors, and they're only companies that I used as an athletic director. I feel very comfortable recommending them. So I know all about Snap, but let's pretend we've got a new listener that's not
Yep.
familiar with all the things that the Snap platform can do. We primarily used it at my school as the fundraising platform, and I recommend it highly. But talk to that new listener, maybe that new AD. Why should they reach out to you to find out more about Snap?
Yeah, and I'm just looking at all the sponsors on the top of the screen right now, and I have used those as well. But I'll say for me, and it just kind of tying some loose ends here. So when I was an athletic director, and obviously COVID being a part of that, I forced myself to be exposed to evolving technologies. For me to be better at my job, I needed to learn technology, be efficient. And so there was so much at my disposal to be able to grow and be better. And so with that, I was also fortunate to connect with Abby Emerson from K-12 Sports Tech. And so I truly believe in the work that she's doing to align ADs with tech vendors so that we can all share insights and be better. And so with that, I had to make a tough decision in my AD world. And again, learning a lot from Abby and having exposure to all of these digital fundraising platforms that I personally also wanted to be more available for my two daughters who are 4 and 5. I wanted to coach them. And so I made that tough decision because I really did love being an athletic director. But personally, I also like being a mom and wanted to be more present. And so for that, I really wanted to align myself with a company that has a proven track method and has that vision of growth to be able to support schools. And so that's where Snap Mobile really rose to the top. And so through our digital fundraising platform, we will have raised over $1 billion for schools and groups by the end of this fiscal year. And like I said, we've been around for 10 years, but we do strategic outreach through text, social media, and email to highlight programs and to target a unique network of supporters that span the globe. And we continue to add value by offering new features like online team stores, digital discount cards, and we provide a first-class user experience for the group leader, the team, and the donor through our platform. And so even more importantly than kind of the partnerships that we've made with companies like Access for Learning and the NFHS, and the relationships that we've built with these groups that we've worked with, this has all allowed us to stay more informed, to stay ahead of the curve, and ultimately develop a suite of solutions that delivers tremendous value for schools, ADs, and coaches. And so, as you mentioned, we are known for our digital fundraising and sponsorship platform, but we have made so many enhancements to create this all-encompassing suite of solutions that ultimately serve our students, serve our schools, so that we can do great work. And so with that, something that really has been not necessarily top of mind when I was a coach or an AD, but really should be top of mind or a high list of priority for current school leaders, administrators, and coaches, is making sure that you're vetting the vendors that you're working with to ensure that student and family data is protected and finances are secure. So at Snap Mobile, we have invested the highest level of cybersecurity certification through NIST, and we work with government entities to verify every organization and individual that we work with. And so it's unfortunate to say, but it's not a problem until it becomes a problem. And I can say that we are the only platform that can ensure that ADs or coaches will not lose their jobs over a data or financial breach. And so with the proven results, with being able to raise funds, as well as our suite of solutions to be able to support ADs with communication, with management. We talk to business offices, booster club presidents, really to make sure that they can provide this great experience safely and effectively for their students. And so Snap Mobile One is something that really you're going to see end of fiscal year, the suite of solution that extends more beyond just our Snap Raise digital fundraising campaigns.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned, that Snap is more than fundraising. And again, we'll give out all that contact information for listeners to find out more. But I'm also glad you mentioned the security component with the fundraiser. We use Snap at my school. We were a private school. We were pretty fortunate from a financial standpoint. Our teams had what they needed, and many times they had what they wanted, because wants are different than needs. But we use Snap for those wants. And I want to tell the story real quick. Our CFO uh, came, a couple years into my tenure as the AD, and at her previous schools, she did not allow outside fundraising platforms like Snap to be involved. And when we presented her the opportunity that some of our teams wanted to use Snap, she was very impressed with, I guess, the organization, the efficiency, and that security that you mentioned. And again, as an AD, we love Snap because it was so easy to use. The ADs loved it, our parents loved it, and it works. So again, for athletic directors that may not have tried a fundraising platform or maybe tried one and it wasn't successful, really want to encourage you to give Snap, give them a chance, give them a call. Um, Caitlin, again, speaking to someone who might not be familiar with the platform, they can hear me say it. And, I was an AD, I used it, but you were an AD also. Can you talk about, I guess, the ease of using it and the effectiveness of the Snap fundraising platform?
100%. And that's just it. And so when I was the athletic director, I was also responsible for managing a golf tournament, trying to coordinate concessions, fundraising through other types of raffles that required time, volunteers, effort, and it didn't necessarily translate to enough funds that we needed. And so that's where Snap Mobile really came into play. It really is as simple as us being able to connect with that group leader, whether that's the coach, the athletic director, the booster club. And we set up a campaign page. So not on behalf of the program that highlights the good work that they're doing. There's a nice thank you letter right on the page that is visible, whether it's through your mobile device or through a website. And then from there, it's really just, hey, we get the logo, we set up the page, we get the group leader on an onboarding call with our account management team. And once we see that all of the participants are logged into their app, and we make this process so seamless, we provide so many good infographics to be able to teach or train the participants to log in, put a profile picture on just like they would on their Instagram page, and then they would add emails and phone numbers of their support network. And so that's something that's unique to us, is that we're really targeting that unique network of supporters of the team that spans the globe. And so once we see that all of those participants are logged in with emails, we launch the campaign. And so over the course of 28 days, 4 emails would be sent out. Unless someone donates that first week, then they would just receive that one email. A text message would go out at the day 15 mark. And for any student or student athlete participant that has that device, that app, they can push it out with one click. They can push it out to a group chat, to Facebook, to Instagram, to, I still call it Twitter, but X. And so that ease of that user experience is something that helps our campaigns be so successful. Again, the preloading of that information like guarantees that funds are going to be raised immediately. And we make that user experience for the group leader so simple. I would say our customer service is top notch, and we're probably the only platform out there that has in-house support that would respond, if not immediately, the same day. And that's something that ADs or group leaders want to hear as well, is knowing that they can actually call or call or text somebody from our customer support team and get an immediate response. So I would say that from all aspects, from that easy, that set up the campaign page, let's preload, let's launch. And we like to say it's set it and forget it once we launch that campaign. And from there, we can do direct deposit, or we can send a check to the school or the group, depending on how the organization is running the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, everything you were ticking off there, I remember vividly how those things actually happened with our school, with our teams, and again with our CFO. She just loved it. She was as much of a fan as we were. Um, Caitlin, again, we're going to get you back on the podcast for a deeper dive. But if one of our listeners wanted to find out more about the Snap platform. And it is more than just fundraising. The fundraising is great, but there's a lot more. Or maybe they want to pick your brain as a longtime coach and AD. What's the best way that they can do that?
Oh, absolutely. So email is probably the easiest for me. I really like truly connecting with people and being able to give back. So my first name is Caitlyn, Caitlyn dot Germain, Germain at snapraise.org would be my email address. And then for more information, our website is very comprehensive. Everything is up there. So that ease of being able to just kind of find information. Our website's very simple too. So www.snapraise.com. But definitely I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. So definitely don't be shy to reach out, to follow, to like. Would love to make more connections and continue to help improve our schools, our students, the student athlete experience.
Well, thanks so much for sharing with our listeners today. All the best moving forward. And again, listeners, reach out to Caitlyn, reach out to Snap. You're going to be very glad you did. Hopefully, we'll get to see you at an upcoming state conference, maybe even down in
Yes.
Austin at the national conference. But like I said, all the best.
Thanks, Jake.
For our listeners, we want to say thanks to you and remind you that we upload the Zoom recordings of all of our interviews to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do this segment every Tuesday, and just about every day we try to share stories and best practices. So come back and join us again on the next edition of the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Before we go, as always, we want to thank our great sponsors. Of course, SnapRaise, Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com to find out more about all their platforms. We want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, start creating world-class marketing content for your school's social media channel. We want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. You can go to hometownticketing.com for more information. Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com to get started. We'd like to thank Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle. As an athletic director, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com to get started. Athletic surveys by LifeTrack. In my school, we use surveys for everything. You're not going to believe how valuable that information can be. Go to athleticsurveys.com. We'd like to thank Home Campus. You've heard me say many times, Home Campus is a platform you're going to use every single day. Go to homecampus.com to get started. Ohio University's online master's in athletic administration. That's ohio.edu/info/MAA. Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Check out their interactive touchscreen video consoles. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. And let's say, give a shout out to K12 Sports Tech. That's K12sportstech.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast.